Hey, what's up? It is DJ. Today we're taking an early look at Arkansas of American by SamuelBatistaModding. This map has been completely remade for FS25 and is inspired even more by the 4X version of the real-life location in the state of Arkansas. As a matter of fact, PC players can already download the Arkansas 4X map right now on the in-game mod hub. Its flooded rice fields are ready for harvest, and its tree-lined landscape with a river cutting through the plains makes the environment more vibrant and immersive. You start with your small farm and basic equipment to work with animals, collecting hay bales from the already harvested grass field, or dive straight into harvesting and planting until you reach the peak of your progress and become the largest agricultural producer in the region. Here is our PDA. We've got some pretty massive fields on here. 1.7 million for that one. 1,869,000. Nice. Down here, farmland 36, 1.1 million. And then we've got 1.8 over here by the main farm. Speaking of, what do we get? Well, here is our farmlands, and this is what we've got in new farmer mode. So we've got 4 fields in total. Of those, we've got a wheat field ready to be harvested as per usual. Field that's been cultivated, one with, well, really nothing, I guess. And then we've got another one that has been harvested and was grass, which is really interesting. Let's pop down and take an aerial look at the farmland itself. So here is the top field right there, farmland 46. This already has been harvested. We've got some hay bale, or grass bale, sorry, on here. What are these actually? Hey, what are you, dude? That is a grass bale. So there you go. From there, we could pop up just a little bit, flying around just a bit here. We've got our wheat field that is ready for harvest. We've got a field here that is ready to be sheeted. It is cultivated already. And lastly, a field that is needing to be cultivated and has already been harvested. I kind of like that they've set you up similar to the way the base game does, where you have one of each job to do whenever you start off. So that is pretty cool. As far as equipment, we can go ahead and go over this now. Some people start in new farmer mode, some don't. So we'll go over these really quick so you can just kind of see what's up. You know, cultivator, front load pallet fork, bucket, got your Challenger MT660, Flegel Tech 1800, as well as a Gerval wrapper, Horse Credo 3, that's going to be your power harrow, and we get a seeder to go behind that, John Deere 3650, as well as the front loader. We also have a John Deere 6R145, a weight, a couple of those weights actually, Krone round baler, and we have a Kubota sidekick 2-seater, sprayer, Massey Ferguson combine harvester, as well as the header for that, and the header trailer, a loading wagon, regular tipper, front mower, we got a tedder, a rear mower, just a single, not duals, and then we also have a windrow. It is important to note there are no required mods, and you can delete all of the stuff on the map. So as long as you own the land, own the areas, you can delete the things that are here. Another really neat thing is, because we've got some modified versions of things like houses, for example, we've got those animal pens, which are the base game animal pens. They just hold more. And then we've also got some silos, which also act as like productions and move stuff around. If you wanted to, you could actually delete what's here and then place down the modified versions, and it would look exactly the same. So I think that's kind of neat. As far as everything else that we would normally go over before doing a map tour itself, there is no new crops on here. However, we do have a bunch of rice fields. This may be the most rice fields that we've got from any map that we've seen so far. We've also got a crop calendar right here. Just kind of see how that works. As far as when we start off a new farmer, we do have a bunch of cattle. I mean, we have 82 18-month-olds and 250 newborns. That's pretty wild. And then we have 2 other cow barns as well. So there are a lot of cattle on this map. I have gone through and reset my contracts so you can get an idea of what to expect through here. I like that we've got some decent contracts for harvesting to start off with. I'm a big fan of those, especially when I'm playing off screen. So that is nice. There's also stone picking. If you want it, you know, it's there. No owned productions, but we do have the bakery, carpentry, cement factory, cereal factory, dairy, grain mill, paper factory, another the sawmill there, and then you've got your tailor shop, about said another sawmill. As far as vehicles, of course, we've talked about that and pricings for everything. So that is just about that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in, I'm going to buy all of the farmlands, all the fields, and show you what that looks like. And here's what we're looking like after we've purchased everything. And when I say everything, I quite literally mean everything. This is one of those maps where you could buy the entire thing, even the outside of the map. See everything that's in dark green right through here, not the bright green? You are able to buy the outside of the map. Now it is $4.4 million, but you can purchase it. It's all the road systems, all the bits and bobs in between, the waterways, all that. You could buy that. That's pretty cool. One of the neat things is this map doesn't have just one farm. It's actually got 3 farms. If we go straight north from the starting farm, eventually we will get to the top right-hand corner of the map after we fly over a few things, and this is going to be the next farmland. This is purchased whenever you get farmland 26 or 56 right here, and I dig this one actually. So this is kind of neat. We've got, you know, the main farm right there with the big barn, all the extra bits and bobs that you would expect from a Samuel Batista map. But if we go around towards the back, he really likes to play around with like heights and levels and stuff like that. So if we go up to the second level here, we actually have this huge area with massive silos. So you could delete them if you wanted to. You don't have to hang on to them if you don't want to. Yeah, you can sell them 120 grand each. It's $240,000 if you just sell both of those. But it connects through here. We even have an authorized vehicles only side. I love that. This would be a really nice area if you like got rid of the the rice fields. So this long grain rice, everything that's on here, just curious. Take those out, level it out, and then put in like some grass or cornfields to make some chaff. Perfect access point for that, which is really nice. But there you go. That is farm number 2. And then farm number 3, we are going to head almost directly southwest, down to the left. We're going to be heading over here so you can see exactly how far away everything is. This is on the other side of the map, on the edge, so you kind of have one down at the bottom right, top right, and middle on the left. This one's got some more cows on it, some more buildings. It is a much larger farm. Everything's surrounded by these white fences, of course, just like every Samuel Batista map. And even the base game buildings fit perfectly in here. Just a little bit of trees going through the roof. Not too bad through there. Love this building. It's one of my favorites. I'm glad they're using it. Humongous silo system. Definitely out of all of the farms on the map, this is the largest one, hands down. Now, of course, farms aren't the only thing on here. We've also got some areas which include logging, and there's actually a decent chunk of them, and they're located all around the map as well. So you can see we've got 5 of them in total. I think that's all 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So a couple small ones, a couple larger ones. It is nice to have. We've also got 9 different production facilities, as you guys saw a little bit earlier, and they're kind of spread around a bit, not too much, but around enough. I don't think there's any at the bottom of the map, no. So they're all mostly at the top left and middle right. Keep in mind there are 2 different dairies on the map, but only one of them is a production. Here's dairy number 1. This one is the production, so at least you'll know that up here at the top left-hand corner. There we go. The other one is also in town. However, it is not a production chain. It is just simply a dairy sales point. I think he did something very similar to this in the, the New American map? At least this production chain was down there. Staying with it in town, if you're looking for the BGA, that is going to be right here. You will have to purchase Farmland 57 for that, but after you do that, here is your BGA. We've got a nice big old silo on here. You can put everything together. Of course, BGA is a BGA at the end of the day. Way station and a nice place with a lot of room under it. That's pretty cool. Another one that might be a little bit difficult to find is the dredger. Now, I looked everywhere for it and finally used cheaty mods to teleport me there. But it's right here. We got a production that's right over the sign for 58. And 58 is this teeny tiny little area right here. It is the dredger, and you can collect everything and that kind of stuff as long or use the dredger rather, if you own it. So you have to purchase this land in order to use it, but everything should be working perfectly. You're going to see a lot of the stuff that is made from the assets in Riverbend Springs. That's just kind of the way it is. As we mentioned at the top of the map, we have 18 rice fields, which is absolutely insane. And there's also collectibles around the map too, so you can collect those. And of course, we have a couple sell points around as well, which are just generic sell points. Now, if you're just curious about information on the map, there you go. But if you're looking for a little bit of a deeper dive, walking in and out of the building, seeing stuff, well, that's where this starts. So here we go. We are right here, right at the main farm at the house. Around towards the left side, which we're going to go to first and then make our way around. We got a place for fuel, and we've got a place for our, was that seeds? Fertilizer? What was that thing? Karma 1600? I never remember what this thing holds. Both. All right. Oh, mineral feed and seeds. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. And then from there, that's going to lead us out to a couple of the fields that we own. Of course, we showed off those. Pricing for these, not terrible. And by not terrible, I mean it's actually really expensive. I'm not quite sure why Farmland 44 is $1 million, but it is. I mean, in comparison, 206, 199, which is even less, 128 there. Yes, I'm not quite sure what 144 is hiding, but it's $1 million. Goodness gracious. Over here, we've got all of our equipment and stuff like that. Kind of continuing this pathway around. We will be stopped right here, but this is actually nice. We don't have the fence that's all up in the way of the milk trigger this time around, so you are able to grab that. This is just a normal base game barn, so 70 animals through there. I would recommend downloading the, the bigger animal pens, I think is what it's called. Let's see. Yeah, bigger animal barns. I would recommend downloading that and then putting it on there, and then you could have 500 instead of 70. It's actually what I did on the New American. Hello, puppy. What's up, dude? Manure, obviously, in through here, you can grab it. You may want to delete the fence right here and change that up a little bit, but you could do whatever you like on your own end. We got some more bins, silo, and a multi-fill bin right over there. Actually, it's just lime, isn't it? Yeah, it's just lime. I'm so used to that look just being multi-fill stations, but it's not here. Then throughout the rest of the thing, that is it. This is a collection thing, isn't it? Sure is. Hey, we got one in the mod preview. All right, so that's everything on our main farm. We are going to kick out. We are able to get into this farm. Looks like right here. We got a small little area where we can get in and out. And I'm imagining there's more areas around too. But I'm actually not seeing any. Okay, we get a little bit of a bigger area up here, so that's pretty nice. And there's also a big field or big couple fields right beside it, so these may be fields that you want to cut up and, I don't know, plow them together? That'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? Yeah! So from here, we head north. And our first stop is going to be a logging area. As a matter of fact, 2 logging areas right here on the side. Sawmill, Edge, and Sharp. 1950, boys. Right through here, we've got a humongous area. Now, obviously, this is the only spot that's ours, so that's what we use, and everything else is just going to be decoration. But what a decoration it is! And I guess there's nothing stopping you from putting more logs on top of all of that, so that's kind of neat. None of this could be sold or anything like that, and I think you could probably avoid paying attention to that. I have a mod, like a lease mod, but also a mod that allows me to delete base game buildings. So the main farm is one thing, but production chains are a complete other animal. So if you wanted to download the PC mod for that, you can. And then we've got another cell station right up here. Boop. Well, I say cell station. It's your sawmill production. It's just not the production point. And that will be right here, right beside the big open area. Again, I will reiterate this. Samuel Batista loves undulating terrain and multi-level facilities. And this is just another one to add to that collection. which I'm really digging. So back out to the road, and we get another spot right here on our right-hand side. We have the Willow Lumber Company, and around towards the back side of that, we will enjoy the carpentry of it. So swing them around, and there you go. We've got our production points there, and then the production itself is over here around towards the left-hand side. Well, left hand from that way. If we keep going up a little bit further, we will find ourselves at the animal dealer and a few other things. So Katie's up here to talk to. We've got the animal dealer there. We've got a sell point for the bells there, manure, as well as liquid manure, slurry, around towards the backside here. And do we have animated animals? Yes, we do. So that is very cool. Love seeing animated animals, especially on mod maps. You never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes it's cool, and sometimes it just is what it is. These are very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Gotta give it to them, man. Gotta give it to them. And of course, everything's pretty normal around towards the front. So if you've played on Riverbend Springs, or a lot of other mod maps, you'll know what to expect there. That is water. Do we have water? Oh, we do have water. Look at that. Hey, hey. There's a splishy splash. That's pretty cool. Do we have a splishy splash over here? Nope, because it must be going that way. That's pretty cool. So straight through here, this is going to be the top farm that we mentioned. Obviously, we have another cattle pen right through here. This is also available in the bigger animal pens mod. Right there. That one. This will hold 1,000 animals. That's a bunch. How many will this hold? Can't hold too many, right? 206. Yeah, not too many. This is the one that's got the silo system up around towards the back, which I find really neat. We still have the same house, so the house is here. However, it is all on flat ground, as you can see from the back side of it. So if you wanted to delete it and put down another house, maybe you've got a favorite house mod that you like, put it down. You're good to go. Hey, does anybody remember the days when house mods, you could only have one house per farm? And then you had to like cheat them in multiplayer. I made a video about that, and then like a week later, Giants added that feature. Appreciate it. I think I made a video, what was it, 22 about that? And then the next update fixed it. Anyway, so there you go. That is our top farm. Now, we've already done all of that. As far as the middle of the map goes, there's really not a whole lot going on. Don't forget, if you want to buy the outside of the map, farmland number 1 is located pretty much directly in the middle. I think directly in the middle is more like here-ish, but yeah, it is what it is right through here. So if you wanted that, that is where that is located. But we are going to be heading west, and we're going to do it on the main road through here. There's quite a bit of traffic, and I've seen the traffic kind of like trying to pass each other, and they're not getting stuck. I'm pretty pumped about that, actually. Oh yeah, when I'm recording this, it is the first day of school again for kids in the area around here. Oh, goodness gracious. We got a bunch of school buses on this map, too. More than I've seen on any other map. Of course, the BGA, as you've seen, is a very normal BGA. All this standard stuff through there. And we've even got fences, which we can open and close, which I think is really neat. Now, we do have some areas through here, which, well, we can't really do a whole lot about. There are some houses. Would be nice if we could delete some of these. But some of them have NPCs hanging out. Some of them have, delivery, that kind of thing. So we may have to just leave those where they are. Up here, this is our grain mill. So the grain mill production. Here's where our pallets are going to be spawning. Here's where you start doing everything. And around towards the side here is where we're going to be dumping everything. I think, isn't this the grain mill from Hutan Bantai? It's definitely not the one from... from Riverbend, but it is what it is. Fuel station, obviously you're going to need to fill up with fuel, so that is there. We can swing back down around. Of course, we saw our dairy. That's where that's going to be located. And if we continue around, we've got working buttons right here. Love that. That's your tailor shop. Swinging them around again. We've got the farmer's market back there. Very normal farmer's market. We've got, I think this is the oil mill, is that right? Cereal factory. And then right over here is the bakery. That's pretty nice. Oh, let's fly over here because we've got the actual dairy up here at the top left-hand corner. And as far as the areas around, I'm going to kind of go up and give you guys an idea, just an overall. So that's what this area is going to look like overall up at the top. So this is our town. This is the town on the map. So there you go. And this next area should look pretty familiar to you because it is the store. Yes. Oh, yes. We got peeps over here. What up, dude? You want to buy a tractor? And then we've got all of this. This is a kind of interesting thing. So if we go back, click on farmland number 1, and then we actually go here. There we go. You actually own the land that the farm, like the store is on. And I will say that makes this a very, very, very nice map for doing like mod videos on, because if you're like me, I don't like to have any placeables down on the maps that I do, but for something like this, so we could go in here, go over to the farmhouses, because you always spawn where your farmhouse is, and I try and delete farmhouses, so shop area is not allowed, but if we do that, because we own it, we can actually use it. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I've got a bench right beside the store on my other maps, and well, on 4 fields it works because you can own the store there. However, Riverbend you can't, so I put down a bench using a cheaty PC mods to let me do whatever, but I don't own the land, so I can't use it. But that works great. So if you guys are out there and you're watching this and you do mod reviews or anything like that, or you just want to spawn at the store every time, that's a great way to do it. Just saying. So from here, honestly, there's one more area other than all of the fields, which we will do a quick flyover. This brings us to farm number 3. That's that's all she wrote. Of course, we have the massive building here. We've got all of these little pathways in so that we can actually visit it. Of course, we have placeables down where we can fill up just about everything, and it is all custom done just for this. I absolutely love that. Manure is nice and far away from the cows, so they're not going to be getting themselves in trouble with it. And we might even have enough space. I don't know if we will, but we might have enough space here for the feeding robot. Might be pushing it, but if you put it here and then built the fencing area around it, maybe that's something to look into. Nonetheless, otherwise we've got silo system. We've got some more silos over here for making silage, and a place to park everything up inside. And there you go. That is that. I mentioned we do a bit of a flyover just so you can get an idea of your field sizes and layouts here. So we are currently flying towards the main farm. So we have these nice big squared off fields around, pathways around it as well. Very, very worker friendly and AI friendly as well. Oh yeah, there's one of your sales points. Here we go. Up. I don't know why you always get behind school buses. Nonetheless, of course, we've seen the main farm, fields up north of that, fields in the middle as well. I'll tell you what, there's some real big fields out there in the middle of the map. That is going to be where the big farming happens. But it looks like just about every inch that they could have allowed for fields, they have allowed for the fields. This is a pretty fun map, and this is definitely one of those maps where it just makes you want to farm. I don't know what it is with Samuel Batista and the mods that they put together, their maps, but all of them make me want to just stop recording and just start playing and having fun. So I may go ahead and go do that right now. In the meantime, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me today, and thank you to Samuel Batista for sending over their map to show you guys ahead of its release for all platforms. Got any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll catch you in the next one.